If you're in a competitive market, there's probably a handful of agents who just dominate while you and everyone else are fighting over the same low quality leads and fighting for scraps. But here's the thing. There's a system that most of these so-called top agents haven't even heard of yet, and almost nobody's using it. It's how agents in some of the most competitive markets across North America are signing listings every single month with only a handful of motivated sellers who already know, like, and trust them. Now in this video, I'm going to break down that system in depth and show you exactly how you can start taking back market share even in a competitive market. So how do we get listings in a competitive market? So let me show you a perfect example. Sam, he's a realtor up in Toronto in the GTA area, which, if you don't know, one of the most saturated and competitive real estate markets in all of North America. There's something like 70,000 agents up there. And to show you our numbers from this campaign using this exact strategy that I'm going to show you, we had 44 leads come in. He converted 3 of those into signed listing agreements. It did about $67,000 in GCI at about $2.6 million in volume from those 3 listings. Spent about $4,000 on ads with this strategy and got a 17 times ROI, meaning he put in $1 and got 17 bucks back out. All right, and this is one of the most competitive markets in all of North America during a slow winter season as well. So basically, the first thing that you need to know is that to make a competitive market work, we can't just go out and target the entire area because it's too broad. If we go out and try to target the entire market like everybody else, we are just shooting ourselves in the foot because we're trying to reach everybody. And if you've ever seen the saying, or just the way marketing works, is when you try to speak to everybody, you end up speaking to no one. That's why it's always better to niche down. So you can probably pick, or you probably can think off the top of your head, let me go grab a pen. You can probably think of the top areas or top neighborhoods in your market that you actually want to target. You probably know little pockets in your area that you want to target, and also pockets that you maybe don't want to target. So what we want to go and do is, instead of targeting broad, instead of targeting the entire market, we want to go pick and choose specific pockets that we want to go and target, almost like a treasure map, right? We want to put little X's on that map and go and target those specific areas and pinpoint exactly where you want to target. Now, this should be pretty self-explanatory. Like, you want to pick these areas, but this is a very simple thing you can do that a lot of people don't do. But along with this, you're probably thinking, okay, how do we actually go and pinpoint these, right? We need a platform to actually be able to go and do this. So if you're familiar with Facebook ads, as an example, I just pulled up the ad manager right here. Let's go try to do this with our targeting. So we're going to go click browse. We're actually going to go search locations. And let's say we are in Miami, as an example, right? Very competitive market. So we want to go and target Miami. So we go Miami, Florida, and we can drop a little pin on there, right? So let's even zoom in a little bit. Let's see, where's Miami, Florida, 25 miles. Okay, but we obviously don't want to target all Miami because, like I just said, we don't want to go and target this entire area. We want to pick little spots on there like a treasure map. So let's go back here and let's try to do that. And you can see we can only go as small as a 10-mile radius, which, if you're familiar with Miami, 10-mile radius, I don't know how many millions of people this is reaching, which this is the problem right here. You literally can't go and pinpoint these people. So that immediately, if you're in a competitive market, Facebook is completely out of the picture because you're targeting all of Miami, and then you wonder why you're getting people who are just looking around, who are just curious, who've already spoken with 10 other agents and who are just all over, because you're not able to actually go and pinpoint the specific areas or neighborhoods you want to target. Let me show you, on the other hand, what I primarily do with these agents is YouTube ads specifically. So what this basically means is we can go and pinpoint specific homeowners based on where they actually live geographically within certain neighborhoods, cities, counties, or zip codes. So instead of going and targeting a 10-mile radius, we can actually go and get as specific as a 1-mile radius around an area. So let me go X out of these. And let's go put this down. So let's go do Miami again. But let's say we want to do a 1-mile radius around Miami. Let's just see it, show you a visual, right? And boom, now you see we're getting a 1-mile radius around Miami rather than literally doing a 10-mile radius at the minimum. So now, as an example, let's say we want to go and exclude downtown Miami for whatever reason. So what we do is we look up downtown Miami, and what we're going to do, you can see it pulls up with the exact population, the exact reach, and we're going to exclude that area, which you can see that's a pretty big area, so you probably wouldn't want to go do all of that. Let's say we want to go and target Brickell, though, right? Brickell is a very, very nice spot. We go and include it, and then it includes that area, right? So you can see how specific we can get. Now let's say we want to go target Little Havana. right? I'm not actually in the Miami area, so I don't know all these specific areas, but we can go and target and pinpoint specific areas and go and choose and pick the exact areas where we actually want to get listings in, like Brownsville, Florida, as an example, right? And we're picking and choosing. So rather than going and targeting a 10-mile radius, which this is what it would look like if we're going and doing this over on Facebook, is let's do 10 miles. Let's switch this to 10 miles. And you can see it's all of that, which what we can literally go and do is pick and choose certain pockets because of how precise we're actually able to go and target. Let's even say we want to do a 2-mile radius, right? Like it's just so much more specific, and this is what you need to do when you are targeting in a big market. You can't go and target the entire area, otherwise you're shooting yourself in the foot because you're just targeting too many people and you end up speaking to nobody. The other thing with it as well is when people see your ad, they're going to see your ad, maybe that they're going to see it like once or twice because there's just millions of people. But if we go and choose specific pockets or little subgroups, those people are going to see your ad 9, 10, 11, 12 plus times before they actually click on it. And that's the whole point. That's how we're getting people coming in who are already familiar with you, which is going to go into the next part of it, of the actual type of ads you need to run. So what you probably see a lot of times is on Facebook, as an example. I went and just found these ads, literally took them screenshot from my feed. Is the ads look like this: hey, get access to a custom list of homes, get a custom list of homes as low as $890,000. And it's like a super simple, just like generic image like this of like something that like my little brother made in Canva. Right? Anybody can go and make this. They click on the ad and then you hear, oh, why are you calling me? I never clicked on this. Who are you? Because how would they possibly know who you are? Why would somebody be reaching out to them from this ad, right? They clicked on a list of homes and they're just going to get an instant list of homes. Once they get that, there's no reason for them to talk with you. But the thing is also, there is hundreds of agents in every market running these exact same ads. And that's the exact issue, is you need to differentiate, because in today's market, we are in a trust recession, especially in real estate. When there is so many realtors out there, how do people know who to trust? It's just like lead gen companies and marketing agencies. There's so many out there. So when supply is higher, the demand and trust is going to be lower, just because the fact of how many there are, but also how low the barrier to entry actually is to get started. And that's why, again, the NAR stat, or whatever the stat is like 85% or 90% of realtors leave the business within 5 years or after 5 years, which is pretty crazy. It's no different with marketing companies. And that's why, again, the bar is so low. So basically, this is the problem right here. We need to go and differentiate. So instead of running generic image ads, what we need to do is make custom videos that are specific to your market. Now, I have other videos breaking down the exact strategy, but this is why I like to do YouTube ads. So what we can go and do is we can go and choose specifically a YouTube ad, and we can only show it on YouTube. So the way it works is we go here, and our ads are only showing on YouTube. So we're pretty much putting in custom videos on YouTube of you specifically. But the thing is, these people, think about if they saw a custom video of you. Let's look at this amazing drawing. They saw a custom video of you where you were giving them good value. And these videos, I'm not just saying, hey, if you're thinking of selling a home, give me a call, or hey, if you're looking to sell, I'll show you how much your home's worth. Anybody can make those videos, but we're actually providing value and giving actual data and local insights about your local market. Because once you provide data, once you provide specific insights of, as an example, let's go look up real estate markets in Miami, right? And let's go get data. You can simply just go on Redfin, and you should already know the stuff about your market, of course. But what we can go and do is leverage this stuff and literally mention it, that okay, hey, if you're looking to sell a home in Miami, homes are actually sitting on average 109 days on the market, which is more than 10 days over just from this past year. Obviously, I'm just spitballing, so it's not very clear, not a very good script right here. But you're providing them value, and I see a lot of sellers making these mistakes that causes their home to sit on the market for an extended period of time, longer than it should. And the first mistake that I see is that they're mispricing their home and trying to overprice it, when in reality you should underprice it to get more demand, and you're going to end up getting a very similar price. And that's one mistake sellers make that shoots them in the foot, and then why you wonder your home's sitting on the market for over 4 months or over 3 months, which is ridiculous, right? And then you can basically go and say, and if you want the other two mistakes that sellers made, I put together basically a checklist or a guide for you of how to avoid these mistakes and what they are, how to avoid them, so you can get as much money for your home as you should when you sell, and sell it as quick as possible and beat out all these other sellers doing the exact same thing who don't know this strategy. So if you want that, go click below and I'll send you the free report. As a bonus, with the report, I'll also give you a custom home valuation based on the local market data and trends. And I'm not just going to give you an AI automated garbage. I'm actually going to personally review sales around you and actually go and give you the most accurate price possible based on your specific property and your specific situation. So if you want that, go click below and book a call with me. And you see the difference. If someone sees a video of that where you're providing value, you have a call to action to book a call with you rather than just getting a free list of homes or, hey, see what your home's worth. You got to see if someone's coming in from an ad like that, where they just saw that entire thing of you, they saw that video of you, and think about it again, because we're targeting a specific area, they're seeing it usually 9, 10, 11, 12 times, they're finally deciding to click on it because they're genuinely looking to sell, and by the time they speak with you, they're already going to feel like they know you, they like you, and they trust you, which is the most important thing, right? The know, like, trust factor. And that's exactly what this does, and you can't get away with running generic stuff. Even as an example, on like Google PPC, you can't do, like, PPC is not as effective in these massive markets unless you're spending tens of thousands of dollars every month, because again, we go look up as an example, homes for sale in Miami, and we go and see these are like Google ads as an example, right? You're nowhere in here is it branded towards you, so they click on it and they're still going to be like, who are you, why are you calling me? Because they genuinely have no clue. So you need to be doing video if you're in a competitive and saturated market. The nice thing with YouTube ads as well is it's not like a channel, like a YouTube channel where you need to post one video per week. Like on my YouTube channel, I'm posting right now about 1 to 2 videos a week every single week. And it's not as consistent as I would like, right? It's pretty tough to stay consistent 1 to 2 times a week. But with these YouTube ads, the thing is, the algorithm's actively pushing out to these people. We just record maybe 4 to 5 videos one time, and that's all we need to do. And the videos, they're literally 60 seconds each, right? Very, very simple to make. And you can see, like, I just gave you an example of a video, and it's that simple. But if someone goes and sees a video of you versus, especially in a very competitive market versus just the generic stuff, right? It's 20 times better. The conversion rate's gonna be much higher. Because again, differentiation is the biggest thing because we're in a trust deficit. And by the way, if you're interested in YouTube ads and actually you're in a competitive market and you want to have a system that attracts sellers and basically cuts through all the noise, getting people, even in an extremely competitive market, wherever you may be, you want listings coming in every single month. Maybe you want buyers as well. Feel free to go book below, apply to work with me and my team and see what this will look like in your market specifically. Now, the third thing that we need to know for a competitive market, the third and final thing is the targeting, right? So in a competitive market, right, there's so many people. Usually the higher the population, the more competitive the market is, right? And same with like home prices, they're usually higher. So it's usually a higher population. What that means is we have a much bigger pool of people to choose from. But just like with the areas we're targeting, we don't want to just go and target everyone. We need to pinpoint exactly who we want to target. And if we're going for listings as an example, right, what we need with a listing is we need a homeowner. We need a homeowner, excuse my handwriting by the way, who is looking to sell, That's what we need. Now on Facebook, let's go again, show you, basically, let's try to target. So if we go over to select an audience, we'll do further limit the reach, continue, and we'll go try to target people who own a home. So we're going to go and do detailed demographics. We'll look up homeowner. But the interesting thing is, you see, this is based off of interest. So it's someone who's like interested in the homeowner association. They don't actually own a home. The other issue though is that when you run real estate ads, you need to declare it as a housing ad, which means you basically can't target based on demographic, based on if they own a home, based on any of that on Facebook, which is the issue, right? It wouldn't let you go and target any of this stuff. So we can't actually go and target someone who owns a home, which is the first issue. Over on YouTube, the nice thing is we can actually go and target specifically someone who actually owns a home. So let's go make a new audience. We have access to all of this stuff. We can go and target somebody who is a homeowner, right? And it's a detailed demographic, people who own the home or apartment they live in, but still have mortgages, right? So someone who actually owns a home. The next thing with that, we don't just want homeowners. We need someone who's actively looking to sell. Again, the thing with Facebook is it's not based off what people are searching. It's all interest based. So if someone's interested, it's going to show it to them, but they're not actually looking for it. That's why you call them and they say, oh, I'm just kind of curious. I'm just looking around. Over on YouTube, what we can go and do though, is we can literally put in keywords that people are actively searching. So based on their search activity, we can go make a new segment and we can search or target people looking up realtors near me. And we can go and see You can target homes for sale near me, top real estate agents near me, brokerages near me, offices near me, real estate open houses near me. We can also do, I need to sell my home. I need to sell my home. How do you sell my home fast? Sell your home. I want to sell my property fast. Like you can see, if we're targeting someone who's actively searching this stuff up on Google, plus they actually own a home, versus on Facebook where they're just scrolling around, we can't actually go and target specific people based on what they're looking for. And again, we're limited to a 15-mile radius, which is ridiculous, versus again, targeting people who have intent in specific pockets of your market that you want to go and target up here. Imagine how much more intent they have. And that's why with YouTube, we can go and see right here, we're getting roughly like you can see Sam, 7% conversion rate. So roughly we had 44 leads, 3 of them converted. Let's go see another example. This is Colin. He actually, he closed 2 listings in his first 18 leads, which is a 10% conversion rate. I just did an interview with him. He signed 4 listings in our first 2 months. Another very competitive market as well. Mike, about a 5% conversion rate. That's what you're going to see though, is with these leads, we're converting at on typically about a 10% conversion rate. So 1 out of every 10 leads is converting. Whereas Facebook, it's usually more like 1 out of 100. But basically, that's what you need to be successful in a competitive market. There's more stuff that you need as well, like the back end, like the targeting or the systems on the back end to nurture and to stay top of mind. But this is going to be the 80-20 of it. If you can do these things, this is what you need to be successful. And this is how we get such good results in extremely saturated and competitive markets, the most competitive ones in all of the US and Canada. And again, if you want me to just go set this entire thing up for you, because maybe you've tried a lot of advertising before, you probably have spent tens of thousands of dollars on stuff like this where it all sounds so good, but you end up getting leads, but they have no clue who you are. They're not actually motivated, and you just genuinely want something that actually works and just gets you a handful of serious opportunities every single month. Because you know, if you can just get in front of someone, you're going to close the deal. It's just a matter of getting in front of the right people in the first place, and you want to stand out in your market, right? So there's probably another agent who has all the market share and you see them dominating. You want to beat them out because they've been there for so long. That sounds like you want me to set this entire thing up for you. Go book below, apply to work with me, and see if your market's available. We'll pull together a full game plan based on your specific situation and your specific market, what you're looking to do. So that sounds like you. Go book below. Other than that, hope you got value from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.